Welcome back to another week of Techie Tuesday. Today we're going to cover Google Business Profiles start to finish. So everything you need to know is going to be in this one video. First, we're going to talk about how to find or create your profile. Then we'll discuss managing the profile, and we will close out with how to find help and support from Google, especially if you are having any issues getting your page verified. So first thing you're going to want to do, I actually recommend that you use Google Chrome as your browser. If you are not using Google Chrome as your internet, that is fine. You can still find your profile. But first, if you are going to be using Chrome and you already have a profile created, then you are going to click that Google Apps grid, which will show up right next to your profile picture. Once you do that, you are going to search for this blue storefront icon. When you hover over it, it's going to say Business Profile Manager. You might have to scroll through these Google Apps for a second before you find it, or yours may be right at the top like mine is. Once you click on it, it will take you to this page, which is going to show you all the different pages that you manage. So if you do happen to manage multiple profiles, you are able to access them from this one screen. If you do not have multiple profiles, then yours is going to take you to a screen that looks like this, where it's going to immediately take you to that only profile that you have. Now, if you're not using Google Chrome, or you are completely starting your page from scratch, then you are going to want to actually go into your Google search or whatever search engine you use and type in the words Google Business Profile. The one that you are looking for is going to say get listed on Google, or you can type business.google.com into your search engine, and that will also take you to your page. If you hit the Get Listed on Google and you already have a Google business page, you are going to want to sign in to the email address that you originally made that page under. Now, this would have been a Gmail email address, so please make sure you are checking and signing into the correct account. If you're starting from scratch, though, you will hit this option that says Create Your Profile. Now, I'm specifically covering this for my KW Heritage real estate agents, but if you are not with our brokerage or you are in another industry, this video may still help you out navigate how to create your profile. So the very first thing you're going to do is want to create your business name. So I recommend if you are a realtor, you put realtor in here next to your name or your team name, but please make sure if you do so, you are using the actual realtor trademark, so the all caps with the trademark logo next to it. Underneath that, you are going to be able to select a business category. So in our case, we are going to select real estate agent. Now, you are not an agency unless you are a broker and you run your own brokerage. For the most part, you are going to select real estate agent. And I do recommend that you put your name -realtor. We do also need to make it clearly known what brokerage you are with, but we are going to do that within our bio and not our business name, because we do not want to confuse Google. Now, your Google business profile, one of the main points of having this is that it connects to Google Maps. So when someone is searching how to find your business on the map, they will type in your business name. So if you put your brokerage name in there as well, it might confuse the map search and make it a little more difficult to find either you or your direct brokerage office. Once you've filled out your name and your category, you are going to hit next and continue the process. You can select here if you do have an actual physical office you work from, then you would select yes, and that's going to allow us to put that address and connect it to Google Maps. If you do not have a physical location, you will select no and continue through the rest of the questions without having to put an address in. So for this, we're going to go ahead and put yes. Next, you are going to put your business address. Again, I am doing this for my KW Heritage agents, but if you are not a Heritage agent, go ahead and put in whatever your physical address is going to be. Once you hit next, it is going to try to suggest if you have multiple agents who work under the same address, it is going to ask you if you are actually one of these businesses that say it is at the same address. You want to make sure that you hit none of these. If you select one of the options that pulls up, you are then going to start the process of potentially trying to take over somebody else's Google business profile. So make sure that you say none of these and you continue through the questions. Most agents do offer home or office visits, so if you can go to your customers, you're going to want to select yes. If you do not and you only meet in one physical location and you will not go to your clients, then you would select no. But for our purposes, we're going to go ahead and select yes. Next, you have the option to add in the different search areas. You can put in cities, zip codes, or other areas, neighborhoods that you typically work and service in. So for most of our agents, that's going to be San Antonio. And as you type in the city or the area, you will see it typically show up in this drop-down list. So all you need to do is select it from the list and keep typing in the next one that you're wanting. And we would put in any of the other surrounding areas that we can actually do business in. After we have selected all of our service areas, you'll hit the next button. From there, you are going to go ahead and put a phone number. Please make sure this is a valid phone number because they are going to typically verify by sending you a code or offering to give you a call to verify that this number is correct. If you have a website, I do recommend you put your website in there. It will turn into a quick button for you on your profile for consumers to really easily get to your website. If you want to add the option for consumers to chat with you through your Google business profile, you may do so. Typically, you're going to be using that same phone number, but this isn't a bad idea to do because, again, just like the website button, there would be a quick button on your profile for them to really easily be able to get in touch with you. You also have the option here to use WhatsApp if you would prefer to put a WhatsApp number rather than your direct line. Once you've filled this page out, you're going to hit next. And then it's going to go through the verification. So right now it's telling me, great, I got immediately verified. So I can already go ahead and reply to reviews or gain reviews on my page. After that, it's going to ask me to actually input the services that I can assist consumers with. So make sure if you're not the one who's actually doing the credit repair, that you don't include that as a service. This is going to be services that you can directly provide to your consumer. It's going to give you a bunch of pre-filled out options. Feel free and select any and all that apply to you. And if you do something beyond what you're seeing in this list, you can add a custom service and you'll be able to type that service in and have it displayed on your profile. So you'll see the check mark once you've selected it. That means it's going to be added to your list of services when someone views your profile. Then you can go ahead and click Next. Now this is going to be the business hours that are displayed on your profile. So if you were a restaurant and you had really hard open and close times, you would go ahead and input those business hours. However, for real estate agents, typically you guys are working around the clock. So the usual schedule that I will see is Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now just remember, this is you telling the public that this is when you are going to be available and open for communication. So if you would prefer not to get calls at 8 p.m., make sure that you set these times to your preferred standard. When you want to open up a day, you are going to click the slider next and decide at what time you would like this to open and at what time you would like to be closed. From there, you can go ahead and fill it out for all the days that you will be either open or closed. You can also add additional hours to a day. So if you know for a fact you always take lunch from 12 to 1 and you will not be in the office, then you could say that you open at 8 a.m. and then you go ahead and close at 12 p.m. And then we would add additional hours to say you reopen at 1 p.m. and close at 8 p.m. Now, if you're going to do that, also make sure that that is a consistency. So if that only happens once every so often, do not put it on here. But if you know every single Monday you have to pick up your child from school, then you can block those hours off so it doesn't look like you're available when the public looks at your page. Once you're finished with that, you're going to go ahead and select Next. Under your business description, this is where you are going to place your bio. Now remember, for our Texas agents, you have to have it clearly stated who your broker is. So typically you're going to want your bio to start out with brokered by, and then your brokerage. So in our case, it would be KW Heritage. That's going to make it extremely visible to the consumer who your broker is when they go and look at your profile. Now, this is something you can do later or you can do right away, but it is asking you to go ahead and upload images of your building. So this is Google's way of saying and showing to the public what your business looks like. So if they are actually trying to show up in person, they have a visual identity to connect to that business. So again, you can do this at any point. For now, I am going to hit skip, but if you would like to, you can hit select images and drop in the outside images of your building. Next, it is going to ask you to show other aspects of your business. So in this case, it's saying products or services. So this is where you're going to want to upload photos of you in action. It's going to be your closing photos, your photos with clients, or maybe things you're doing out in the community. Those are the kind of photos we are going to want to upload in this section. So again, you can do this at any point. For now, I am going to skip it and come back. But if you upload your photos, hit select image and then next. And then it is going to offer you a $500 Google Ads credit. Now, if you know nothing about Google Ads, you can go ahead and skip this for now. Typically, they will also email you this offer. So for most of my agents, I tend to skip claiming this credit immediately. Now, even though it said I was already verified, you're typically going to hit this wall where it's going to say you are not going to be visible until you're verified. Occasionally, this will happen immediately and you'll be good to go. But in my experience, it will usually take a few hours up to a few days for Google to actually verify your profile. But I will show you how you know when it is finished. So once you get to this screen, you're going to go ahead and hit continue. And that's going to take you to where you can actually check and see if this page is verified or if it's working on the verification. So if you see this box with an exclamation point, either on your already created page or your brand new one, you may need to hit this Get Verified button. That's going to take you to the verification options Google will allow you to use. So again, right here, it is telling me, are you sure you're not these other businesses? I am not, so I'm going to continue through that. Now, a lot of times what we see is that it is only going to allow you to do this submit a business video. This video is typically going to be 90 seconds and it does display what it needs from you. It wants you to show your location and prove that you actually manage that location. If you have additional questions on this video verification, this is where a lot of my agents will end up getting stuck. So please let us know if you need additional help on getting your video actually accepted by Google. Now, sometimes if you click more options, it will give you a text message verification option if you are lucky. In my case, it's very confused by my profile and it wants to ensure I am who I say I am. So the only option it will give me is the business video. Again, that's the one thing we're not going to cover in today's video. So if you need additional help with that, please let us know. Now, if you were lucky and your page got immediately verified, it's going to look like this one does here, where you have your check mark. That means that you are verified. You also notice there's no exclamation point, that red exclamation point, or a message telling me I need to get verified. So if that's the case and yours looks like this, then you are good to go, and that means you are searchable on Google. Something to remember is if someone types in your name on Google or your business name, you may not always show up in those results, even if you have a verified page. Google looks at a few different factors in order to decide what pages they are going to display to you. One of their biggest factors is going to be your reviews. So that's something you're going to want to immediately work on, is getting people to go ahead and leave you your review on Google. If your page is verified, then you're going to have a button right here that says Ask for Reviews, where it's going to give you a link or a QR code that you can download to your computer. So if you right click, you can save image as, and then you can use that QR code on your flyers or business cards or wherever you would like to. Or you can go ahead and copy the link if you want to add that to your email signature or something along those lines. So that's what you would send out to consumers in order to get reviews. From the agent side and the admin side, there's going to be a read reviews button. That's going to let you see all of the reviews that have been posted and also allow you to reply to those reviews. It is good practice to go ahead and respond to every review that is left on your Google business page. You can really easily check your ones you've already replied to versus ones that you have not replied to. So Google makes that very easy for you to make sure that you know which ones you have responded to already. If you realize that you made a mistake on your address, your phone number, your bio, or maybe you move locations, then you could hit Edit Profile to edit all of that main information we filled in when we were creating our page. So if you need to change your business category or any of the information on here, you would select that section and that would give you the ability to edit. Now, the majority of this stuff you will be able to edit without having to get your page re-verified, but occasionally Google will require that you re-verify depending on some of the information that you put in here. So if you changed for sure your business name or your business address, you are going to have to get your profile re-verified. So don't be changing this stuff constantly. Try to make sure you input it correctly the first time. If you did what I did, where you skipped adding your photos during the creation process, then you are going to select this Photos button, and it is going to allow you to go ahead and upload all of your photos. It will also ask you for a cover photo and a logo. Your logo is what's going to show up here, so as you're responding to reviews, your logo is going to be your profile picture. And typically your banner will show up at the top, but occasionally, like ours, it is not actually taking that banner photo and putting it in there. It just grabbed some of the other photos that we have. Now, occasionally Google will also reject the photos that you upload. So if they reject your photo, you can see that from this photos section. It will say pending immediately after you upload, and if it was rejected, you'll see rejected. If it was accepted, you'll be able to see how many views that photo has actually received. Now, posting is going to be just like posting on any other social media platform. So on your profile, you have the option to add posts that talk about what you are doing or the products or promotions that you are leading. Now, the posts can really help you get an edge up in the search results. It gives you more keywords and shows Google that you are actively using your profile, which gets you pushed again further up in those search results. But I don't recommend starting with posts if you are not going to continue with posts, because it is going to look a lot worse for you to have one post from 2 years ago than to just have no posts at all. So make sure if you're going to be utilizing that, it is something that you are continuously doing. Under Edit Services, the original services we added when we created our page, you will see here. You can then click on a service and provide additional information. If you know the exact price that it will cost for this service, you can set that price, or if you don't, just say no price. And then you can provide a detailed service description about what building lot sales mean. How are you going to actually help somebody with building lot sales? Now, this also, again, will help you in the search results the more descriptive you are on these service details. And then back on the main services screen, if you go all the way to the bottom, you can add additional services if you need to. You can accept bookings through your Google business page if you also use your Google Calendar. This will make you have one seamless place where people can book appointments with you. We are not going to cover bookings in this video. It goes a little bit beyond what I would say 95% of our agents do. Most of y'all have other ways that you schedule your appointments in, but it is an option for you to have it directly through your page, again, as a hot button here, so your consumers can really easily book an appointment with you without actually having to give you a call. And then these two buttons I haven't discussed yet. Performance is going to show you your analytics. So it's going to show you how many people have viewed your profile, how many people have actually hit that call button. If you have bookings scheduled, people are clicking on your website. You're able to see exactly how much engagement your page is getting. And then advertise, again, that's not what we're going to talk about in this video. That's going to take you to Google Ads, which is going to be a whole nother beast in and of itself, which again goes beyond what I would say 95% of our agents utilize the Google business page for. Now, Google Ads can be incredibly lucrative and have a great ROI. So if that's something you want to dig into, I recommend you reaching out to your broker to give you more advice on advertising. But that is going to be all of your management steps. Now, anything you edited or added here, when you view down, you are going to see the full profile overview. So here's the posts, the reviews, and you can see everything that the consumer would see when your business profile shows up for them. The last thing we're going to discuss is how you can get further help, especially if, like me, you get stuck here where Google needs that additional verification video. On your profile, you're going to see the 3 dots. Once you click those 3 dots, you're going to have a few different options in here. First, I want to talk about profile settings. This is how you are going to be able to add other users to be admins for your page. So if you have an assistant who is going to be helping you manage your page, you would click on people and access, and that is going to give you a list of people who have access to managing the page. Now, I'm not going to show you everyone who has access to our page, but this is also where you can remove access. So if you gave a team member access and they're no longer on your team, you can remove their access from the profile so they are not able to make any changes. Also, under the 3 dots is going to be help and support. Once you click on help and support, this is where you can find guides and useful information if you're just struggling with what to put on your Google business page or how to optimize it. but a lot of times you're ending up here because you are having issues with your verification. Now you can go ahead and describe the issue and see if you can find a help article that will help you, but you can go ahead and scroll past this all the way to the bottom, and it's going to say, do you need more help? You can post to the community. This is going to allow you to get answers from other Google users. So that might help you get through your problem if you're having any issues getting a hold of support. But usually you're going to want to go the Contact Us route. From there, you are going to select the business profile you are having problems with and tell them what is going on. Once you do that, it's going to give you these options. So if you are getting an error when uploading your video, you're going to say that you can't upload the video. Or if it gives you no verification options, or for some reason you got suspended, it's going to ask you a little bit further what your problem is. For my case, I'm going to pretend I am getting an error. So I'm going to say I can't upload the video, and we're going to hit next. They're then going to try to give you some resources and help articles to help you through your problem, but usually I will skip through that, and it's going to go ahead and hit next steps. Now this is where I can't promise exactly what option you are going to end up with. Mine says get help with verification, which is then going to further walk me through a guide to try to help me through the verification process. I promise if you play with this enough and get through all of the steps it's asking you to, eventually there is a way that you will be able to put in a Google support ticket. And I have actually been able to get in touch with a real life person from Google who is able to hop on the phone with me and help me with my verification problem. I can't always promise that you will end up in that. It is very much a case-by-case basis what ends up happening once you've tried to continue through with the Contact Us section. But again, hopefully at the end of it, you can either get your issue fixed right away, or they'll give you the option to further reach out to a support member. If you need help with this verification, you get stuck in this spot, please let us know, because again, that's going to go a bit further than what we can discuss in this video, but we are more than happy to try to help you get through those problems. That is going to be our full Google Business Overview video. Again, if you have additional comments or questions, please leave them in the comments of this video, and we will respond and try to help you out a little bit further. But good luck with Google Business, and we'll see you next month.